Welcome into the Yarn Dungeon, where we're talking about all things Valloween today. It's kind of a double excitement because since it is on a Saturday, it means that we get a Friday the 13th, which means I have an entire weekend planned for myself. Coffee, crochet, and slasher movies. That's what I'm going to be doing. So my zine for February is officially out, and we're going to go through everything from the patterns that are in here, the templates that you get for the month. If you're like me and you like curated things for the month, like heavily lean into the theme, which is Valloween, this is going to be a really fun zine for you. Okay, so here we have the cover of the zine showcasing the crochet heart box that we're going to be creating. Next page has a little bit of a chit chat here for you from the Yarn Dungeon. Then we have the index page and what's inside the zine. So for the patterns, we get the Valloween heart box and the Tunisian crochet placemat. So this is another thing that we're going to keep playing around with Tunisian crochet. I love it. I think it's super fun, and it's one of those things where it's nice to do in between crochet projects, especially if you have bigger crochet projects going, which I'm about to get into some of my blankets again. It's nice to have these bite-sized projects. Not to say that the Valloween heart box is not a bite-sized project. It absolutely is. But if you don't want to make those on repeat, the Tunisian crochet placemat is something to have on your Tunisian crochet hook throughout the month and just go back and forth to it. Also, if you've never done a knit stitch on the Tunisian crochet hook before, this is perfect because you're going to do a repeat over and over and over and just really get into this stitch. For the templates, we have a Valloween date night card. We get 14 different cards for prompts to have a crochet date night with yourself. Crocheting to Horror, our movie log, Libraries of Horror is our book log, and then notes from the Yarn Dungeon. And I still need to pull everything together for a January zine, so I do plan on binding mine this year. I used my zine a lot more this past month. It turned into this scrapbook of basically everything that I created for the entire month, and I want to bind everything together. So having said that, if you've never got a zine from the Yarn Dungeon before, this is a digital zine, but I highly suggest that you print it out if you can, because it's a very interactive zine. You're going to want to add things to it. If you have yarn that you use throughout the month, the note page on the back, that's what I use it for. I put my yarn tag and then a little bit of the yarn on there to keep track of everything. It's meant to be interactive. It's meant for you to put everything that you want for your crochet items that you've done throughout the month. All of it kept right here. Like I said, it's basically a scrapbook for everything that you create. So you and we are going to be binding my January zine here very soon, and then that will officially close out January zine. And if you've never bound anything before with yarn, we're going to go through it together because that has been a little bit of a struggle for me. I've gone down this rabbit hole of different ways to bind pages together. So yeah, that's an activity in and of itself. So the first pattern is the Valloween heart box, where we have all the supplies, the abbreviation, how much yarn you're going to need. It ends up being a 9 by 9 inch square. You use about 150 yards of yarn from the black yarn and the cream yarn all together. Very, very small project that we're going to be doing because it's going to go over top of this heart box. We have a little bit of craft glue on the bottom, attaches onto it, and then on the inside I have little Valloween cards that I've made for myself, and this goes along with the 14 night date night prompt. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. First up, we have the Valloween placemat. This is the Tunisian crochet placemat. I'll walk you through the entire process of doing a knit stitch, start to finish, binding off, and then doing a crochet border around the edge. This stitch in particular is really, really tight, so naturally it's going to want to curl on itself like crazy. You definitely have to block this one, and the border does help with it quite a bit to kind of flatten everything out. The stitches, they just want to curl. They have a lot of tension. Then we have the 14 nights of crochet dates. This is something I had a lot of fun putting together. There are 14 different cards here that you go ahead and print these out, cut them out, and then I made these little tiny cards out of paper. If you want to go through step by step of how I made these cards, let me know in the comments and you and I can have just like a little make along, I guess. Here's the thing, we're all very crafty humans, and this time of year, it's very hard to find Halloween specific envelopes. Plus, I can go through all my scrapbook paper and kind of use up everything that I have. It doesn't take that much. It's basically just a square. You fold the corners in on itself and then fold it halfway. Here's the little lip for it. I do need to put a little sticker on here. And then on the inside, it has a card for something to do for one night. You can do 14 nights in a row. You can pull them out for the entire month of February. That's kind of what I'm doing. What is this one? Oh, have a coffee date with your crochet. Okay, honestly, there is a reason this one is first. That's probably my favorite out of all of them. But like there's a bunch of different things, like have a movie night, crochet with a certain colors, a certain weight of yarn. It's just something fun to, if you want to have prompts to get into bite-sized projects. I do end up crocheting to movies and audiobooks quite often. I need to put together my TBR jar and my TBW jar, so my reading and my movie jars. That way I can have those set up ready to go, pull an envelope out, figure out what I'm doing for my crochet, and then either watch something or listen to something. Like this whole month is cram-packed with a lot of goodies here. And then the edge to close up the sides, I used a little bit of washi tape. It's super cute, very festive, and you can customize it however you want to. So this is something that you can do not just for Valloween, but if you want to continue on every single month and have these prompts. Like if 14 is too much to do in one month, I totally get that. You can spread it over a couple of months. You can pick out one per month and then just have this little heart box ready to go whenever you have time or you want to pull something out, have a little bit of inspiration. This is something that's going to stay out in the yarn dungeon. I had every intention of it being very Valloween. I mean, the fact that it's a heart and a cute little ghosty on the top of it here. It might turn into my TBW jar. I realize it's not a jar, it's a box, but I have a lot of movies that I want to watch every single month, and having a little tiny jar like a mason jar, it's just not working out for that. This might be the thing for it, but again, it's a container. It's a little vessel. You can put whatever you want inside it. For our book log this month, I changed it up a little bit and we have 3 spots on one page. That way, if you read a lot, you can print double-sided and you can have 6 different books on one page. The printer that I end up using for all of my movie and book printouts to keep track of everything, so it ends up being like a little scrapbook here. These are sticky on the back of it. I need to finish my Januaries. That's what this is. These are the 2 different books that I read out of the same series, and I just put the sticker right there and it fits perfectly. So this is 2 by 3 inches. I end up using my Canon Ivy, which is just this tiny little portable printer. Super handy. It's something that I use for all of my scrapbook stuff. And the fact that it makes it into a sticker is perfect. That way I don't have to have, I don't need extra steps. It makes it into a sticker. Perfect. There we go. Add it onto my book log, my movie log, and then I can add more decorations to the page if I want to. So that is everything for February's zine. Hopefully you're excited about it. You have a little bit of inspiration that you can draw from the entire zine. Something that I thought about only after I finished making the crochet heart box many, many times, using glow-in-the-dark yarn to make the ghost on there pop a little bit, just add a little bit of extra spookiness. It would be a fantastic way to use up stash yarn as well, too. Play around with different color combinations, and bonus if you have a little bit of glow-in-the-dark yarn in your stash. Moving on to Furls Crochet and what is new and happening over there. Recently, they had their very own Valloween crochet hook line that they launched, and it is the polished raspberry streamline metal crochet hook. The metal crochet hooks, that is my go-to for basically anything, any weight of yarn, any style of yarn, crochet stitch that I'm using. That's typically what I reach for. The matte is my all-time favorite, and then it goes polished underneath that. But since it's so cold right now, and the metal ones, I mean, obviously they're metal. They're very cold to the touch when you pick them up. I have been reaching more towards my wooden crochet hooks, but this is like a staple of mine. And especially since they have some of the smaller sizes, which we don't always see in the resin crochet hooks, whenever they have a new line, I like to get some of the smaller ones. So I got a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook in the polished raspberry. And something that I have to say every single time that I pull one of these out, this is the heaviest crochet hook that they have on their entire site. It is so much heavier than their resin, than their wooden, like incredibly heavy. So if you have never tried these before and you really like the style of this, make sure that you check that out first. I love the feel of it. I like having a little bit of extra weight to it, especially when I'm working with fingering weight yarn, which is what I'm going to be doing with this 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. But I just have to repeat it every time because it is shockingly different when you pick up a wooden crochet hook from Furls and compare it to the metal crochet hook. There are a lot of sizes available in the metal lines as well. So it starts at a 3.5 and it goes all the way up to a 10 millimeter. So there are 12 sizes in total. If you're looking for like 3.5, 4, 4.5, some of the smaller sizes, this is the lineup that you're going to find it in. The length is 6.75 inches, 17 millimeters right here at the widest part of the crochet hook, and it's approximately 1.6 to 2.4 ounces. So if you make it all the way up to the 10 millimeter, it's going to be really close to the 2.4 ounces, which is significantly different than some of their wooden crochet hooks. And I just know that some people don't like having that extra weight. So that's why I bring it up. And it's not to say that I don't like it or it's a deterring factor, because this is my favorite lineup of crochet hooks that they have on their site, are just fantastic. I love the weight, but it's not for everybody. So if you have a go-to crochet hook that you've been using consistently, works really well with you, maybe just go ahead and pull out a scale, weigh that, see what it is, and kind of compare it to this if you're thinking about snagging one of these raspberry metal crochet hooks. That is everything that I have for you this week. So hopefully you are excited about February zine and you're gonna make one of these super cute crochet heart boxes with me. Let me know the color combination that you're gonna go with, or if you're gonna stick with the classic, the black, white, and red. I mean, it doesn't get any more classic than that for Valloween, especially with a Friday the 13th right before that. Thank you again for hanging out with me. I hope you have a super spooky rest of your week, and I will see you in my next video.